Alrighty. That should be pretty solidified. Yo, what is going on, boys? We got Neezer back in the video. What is up, Neezo? Neezo. You know, me and Neezo used to not get along very well. I'm sure you guys know, if you guys go to your girlfriend's house, it's always the dog is the worst. Dog's the worst. My first girlfriend that I had, shout out, not just kidding. No, my first girlfriend I ever had, she had this really big dog, and it was just the worst behaved dog ever. This thing would not listen to anyone or anything, and it would jump up on the couch, and it would jump on you, and it would like bark at you, the constant barking, holy, and sometimes it wouldn't even let you in the house. It was the worst dog ever. So why is that a thing? Like, why is it always the girlfriend's dog is like the most annoying, right? But anyway, me and Neezo, back to the full circle. Me and Neezo are chilling, best friends now. Call her Neezer, because why not? But anyway, boys, where's my cup? There it is. It's a great day. Had a great day today. Super productive. Got a lot done. Had my first yoga class in the morning. That was kind of dope. And then after that, came back, worked on some things, made some content, made some videos, made some stories. And then I had a business meeting with my brother and another partner. If you guys don't know, we are expanding our Clearwater Windows business out into like different branches and stuff like that. So we got a lot planned for this year, boys, for window cleaning, for door-to-door, for sales teams, all this stuff. We got a lot on the way, which is really, really exciting. And I just got back from a run. I'm currently getting absolutely chewed by mosquitoes. They're not mosquitoes, they're tiny ass like bugs. It's super annoying. Holy. I love how I talk about like being healthy and like caring for yourself, and like, you know, I'm on this thing right now where I don't want to wear AirPods. I'm wearing them right now, unfortunately, because I want the audio to be good. But I'm on a thing right now where my buddy Neil brought down AirPods, but they're not AirPods, they're like the wired ones. And he was, what's it called? He brought them down for me to use them because I got on a call with them. And he's like, hey man, like, why are you using like the AirPods? I was like, what do you mean? Like they're fine. He's like, dude, you're literally frying your brain. I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, dude, AirPods are horrible for you, right? It's like you putting your brain in the microwave, right? Like all day. So it is, they're bad, but the quality's good, and it blocks out the noise, so it's easier for me to focus. Which, talking about focus, is the one of the things I wanted to talk about in this video without just giving you guys a crazy like life update. But had a really good day, and really one of the biggest things I learned today was I would love if this dog would just stop barking. It's not even Neezo. Neezo's just chilling over by the pool. It's just some other nerd's dog. But one of the biggest things I learned today was the ability to focus, right? I learned a lot about focus today, and in a couple of regards. The first one is you will get so much more done in a work session and whatever you do productivity wise if you can have the ability to focus, right? And a lot of you guys like, yeah, well, duh, like obviously if you can focus on something you get a lot done. Like, yes, right? Everyone understands these things, but no one actually does these things. And when I mean these things, I mean just focus on one thing at a time. So a lot of people think that you can multitask, right? You can do this and then that, and then have like 4 different monitors up with like 4 different things. You got the stock market here, you got a YouTube video here, you got maybe some Google Sheets here, and then you got, you're playing Fortnite at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, you can have this whole setup of all these things going on. The reality is your brain can only focus on one thing at a time, one thing. And when I mean focus, I mean you can only do one thing to the highest level at one time. Meaning, if you have a bunch of things going on at the same time, meaning you're texting someone and then someone's talking to you, right? For example, you're doing 2 things at the same time. Your brain is split 50-50. Meaning you're not really fully focused on what someone's telling you, what they're talking about, and you're not really focused on what you're talking or what you're texting to who you're texting to, right? You're split, 50-50. Like, your brain is actually like cut in half in terms of the amount of brain power, the amount of critical thinking that is happening in that moment, right? And so everyone thinks you can critically think. You can text and drive at the same time. Yeah, you can. Multitasking, it's a thing. It's real, I guess. But the ability to critically think, and when you want to actually think and get things done and be productive and use your brain to the fullest capacity, right? You need to be focusing on one thing. Now, here's the crazy part: is we live in 2026, right? And unfortunately, in today's day and age, right, people have more brain fog than ever because of the food we're eating. We're the most distracted we've ever been with all the advertising everywhere. Like everything's trying to get your attention. Everything's trying to sell you everything at the same time. On top of that, our dopamine receptors are fried, which means that we're constantly trying to find dopamine. Scrolling on social media, which brings me to my fourth point, which is everyone's attention spans are absolutely fucked. Right? No one can focus on anything because we are constantly just like on one thing, and then we're doing another, and then we're able to and then we're just scrolling, and then we don't like a video and we scroll past it. And our brain, if you guys do not know, when you scroll on social media, your brain actually completely shuts off. Like it turns off completely. And when you scroll, especially on short form content, you essentially, you're not giving your brain enough time to think. And there's people who know a lot more about this on YouTube, so you can search it up and ask Claude or ChatGPT about it. But it's horrible for you. It is absolutely horrible for you. So I had the realization today as I was sitting at my desk. I was working. I was on call with my brother and another business partner, and I had to come up with this game plan of what we're going to do for the business in terms of creating different branches of Clearwater, having regional managers and salesmen. Like my brother and I, we've got really amazing plans for our window cleaning company and for our coaching business, right? And as I was thinking about this game plan, I'm trying to come up with what is a good what is a good game plan? What makes sense for the rest of this year, and what is the vision for where we want this business to go? Because I had to decide if I want to to open different branches, just go all in on the coaching business, and I came up with a game plan which made a lot of sense in all regards, and it incentivized my brother and I to open different branches. Obviously, we're the business owners, but it gave more incentives to different regional managers to get really good at their skill set. And then once they can learn how to sell, we teach them how to sell reoccurring jobs. And then once we teach them how to sell reoccurring jobs, then we start to implement more salesmen, more cleaners, more tanks, and then we start to scale. Now, the way I'm making it sound, it's easy, right? But a lot harder said than done, which we already have the game plan for it and everything. So that is super nice. And it feels really, really good to have that done. But as I was thinking about this game plan, for a little bit yesterday and mainly today, I was so focused on what I was doing, and I got so much done. And I basically created this entire game plan when I had nothing, not nothing, but I had a lot less of an idea in terms of what I wanted to do in terms of the structure. Like, how do I incentivize, these guys to want to work with our business and not just, like, for example, start their own, right? And I had to come up with this plan and everything. And so I realized after I sat at my desk for about 4 hours, I picked up my phone and started making a couple. If you guys have seen my stories, right, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Where today I ripped like 20, almost like 25 stories. By the time this comes out, I probably ripped 30 stories today, because I got a couple more I want to post. I want to go to the gym and everything. But on this topic, I realized how much work I actually got done in such a short period of time. And I realized that I myself do not do this enough. I don't focus on one thing enough. And a big part of that is, I create a list of all the things I need to do, and then I try to knock one by one off, but I start with the one that's the easiest, and then I go work my way up, but I never actually get to the needle moving tasks of the day. And I talked about that on my stories as well, which I might say in this video. I might include another one depending if this one's too long. But I was thinking to myself, I was like, focus is the ability to focus is the currency of the future. Like, if I'm a business owner, for example, and I want to hire an employee or someone a part of on my business, one of the traits I'm going to look for is this person's attention span fried, or are they able to focus on one thing for an extended period of time, right? If I give him 3 or 4 tasks, is he going to be like confused on like which one to start first? Is he going to be able to sit down focus on one, get it done, okay, and then move to the next one? Or is he going to be kind of scattered a little here, a little there, and then he never gets anything done, right? And so I'm a firm believer that in the future, even now, but like especially in the future, as social media gets even quicker and it gets even shorter, and what I mean by that is like when you scroll, like the scroll time of videos, right? Or two different things I mean. First thing I mean is the videos get quicker and they get shorter, which means that people are more attached to what's going on, and they're more hooked, and there's more dopamine being launched into the brain, short-term gratification of just like, oh my gosh, like scrolling and getting that extra hit of dopamine, that attachment. So as that gets, I say in a, quote unquote, like worse and worse, which I mean, it's bad, your ability to focus is going to have a massive impact on your ability to find work and find jobs and to like create a business and to get things done and be productive and become a better version of yourself, right? And so you can have the ability to focus if you can have the ability to focus on something, right? And again, it's like at this point I believe it's a skill set. If you could focus on something for an extended period of time without getting distracted, without getting your phone blown up and constantly like, oh my gosh, my phone, okay, and then you click on Instagram, and then you look at some videos, and then soon enough you're scrolling for hours and your day's fucked. It's that fast. If you can just focus in on one thing at a time on what you're doing, so whether you're on the doors, okay, and when you're on the doors there's a bunch of things that are going on, and your ability to undergo stress, right? And your ability, everyone knows, the amount of stress you can take on will correlate to how successful you are, like 100%. There's a direct correlation. When you're on the doors, there's a lot going on, right? You got to worry about selling the jobs, right? And then you're going to make sure your worker's doing a good job. You got to make sure he's on time, homeowners are happy, business reputation, collecting payment. Like there's a lot of things you got to worry about in this game. It's not easy, right? But when you develop a system where you get dialed in workers, right? You have systems implemented which work, right, where the worker comes by, does the job, collects payment, they're good, they're solid, and you've dialed in your skill set, you got the equipment, right, you have someone coaching you, like you can make a fuck ton of money and alleviate a lot of stress when you get to that point. But in order to get to that point of where you're cranking 2K a day, you got 2 workers, it's a beautiful system. You just go out, sell, and you put some of those homeowners on reoccurring for the future to build ARR, which is annual recurring revenue in your business, right? That's where things pop off. But to get to that point, you have to focus, right? You have to be able to focus on, these, videos from, your mentors, your coaches on like, what you're doing, the psychology of sales, the buyer psychology, the seller psychology. You're gonna be able to focus on watching even a 5 to 10 minute sale and then breaking it down step by step, clip by clip in order to understand it, right? And so I believe that your ability to focus will have a massive impact on if you achieve your goals and if you don't. Because if you're unable to sit down and watch even a 5 to 10 minute video without looking at the comments, without looking at the other videos to watch, if you're on YouTube, for example, or if you're just like scrolling and you're looking at, maybe you want to, I mean, no one really goes on Instagram to like look at content that benefits them. Like maybe if you're a content creator and you want to like look for ideas, cool. But even then it's tough. Like you have to be able to just like scroll away from the videos that are like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? But you have to get out of that mindset, right? And Andrew Tate talks a lot about, he has this thing where like, he's like, blink and cure your mind. It's like everyone looks at that and like laughs, and it's funny. Yeah, it is funny, right? It's he's a funny dude, but he's right? He's 100% right. Like blink and cure your mind. Like blink, okay, no, and exit out of Instagram and get back to what you're doing. Because if you do not do that, right, your brain is shut off. And when you want to go back into that mode of working, that deep train of thought where you are focused, where you're getting things done, you're focused on one thing, right? And you want to critically think, you need to critically think to solve a problem, to solve something, right? For example, if I need to make a game plan on what the future of my business looks like, right? I can't do that if I'm scrolling on social media for an hour or two before I try to make the game plan, because I'm not going to be able to think. I can't come up with ideas on the fly. I can't think what makes sense, what incentivizes this person, how am I going to get him to stay, what's the commission structure like, how does he get paid, how does this look like tax-wise. Like I cannot come up with these ideas, and I cannot formulate my own thoughts if my brain is fried from watching this fucking dumbass videos on Instagram, right? Even TikTok's even worse. TikTok, don't even get me started on TikTok, bro. my brain won't even let me scroll on TikTok because I'll see something else like, this is just fucking dumb as hell. Like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I just exit out the whole app. I don't even try with TikTok. Instagram though, the Instagram algorithm will hook you in, right? It'll hook you in and it'll keep you there locked in. And that's one thing I'm working on right now is after I post my videos on Instagram, right, it'll go to my feed, it'll instantly go to like a video of someone on my feed, and the algorithm will show me something I want to see. And I'm watching, and I'm like, okay, and I start scrolling. It's like, I just wanted to go on Instagram to post a video. Yeah, I'm scrolling on here like a nerd. And so, all around, boys, if you can focus and enter deep trains of thought and really a flow state on one task at a time, right, in your day-to-day life, in your business, in whatever you need to get done, if you have that ability and you can put aside these distractions, you can put aside Instagram, put aside TikTok, delete Snapchat, that's the dumbest app I've ever seen in my entire life. Have I used it for an extended period of time in my past? Yes. Was it for business reasons? No. But if you need to get rid of those apps, right, and only use them if they're helping you get smarter and better and more productive and improving your life in any possible way, right? Because you can use the apps like Instagram for information and access to mentors, and Instagram's an amazing app, but the algorithm is so incredibly addicting to your dopamine, to your head, right? It like locks you in on what you want to see, and it shows you more of what you like, and it shows you less of what you don't like, and it's deadly, right? And so the more that you can snap out of that state of when you were scrolling and realize it, and look at yourself scrolling, look at yourself from a third party perspective, like a video game, and look at yourself from above, right? Only some of you guys are gonna get this, right? And then snap yourself out of the state, like, no, I'm not doing this, and then go back to work. The more you can do that, the more you can reprogram your mind to never do it again. And soon enough, it's going to become not only a habit, but eventually, after it becomes a habit of you just exiting out of Instagram, whatever, it will become a lifestyle. I say lifestyle as in, like, it's a lifestyle to not be on social media. Like, I don't mean like that. I mean, like, it becomes who you are. Like, no, I'm not the type of person that scrolls on Instagram. No, I'm not the type of person that, smokes weed or drinks alcohol or drinks at all. For that matter, like beer or like any of that stuff. Or I'm not the type of person that does XYZ drug, whatever. I'm not the type of person that goes to the bar. I'm not the type of person that hangs out with, a bunch of girls. Like, I'm not that type of person. That becomes your identity, but you have to be able to, it starts with your thoughts, right? I don't do this, right? You're aware of it, right? So you think to yourself, I'm not going to do this, right? I don't do that anymore, right? You're not telling yourself, I am going to, or I'm trying to. No, you don't say that, because that means it hasn't happened. You tell yourself, I don't do this anymore. Yeah, I don't scroll anymore. I don't like Instagram. I don't do this, right? Tell yourself this. Then you develop a habit, right, of doing it over a certain period of time. So your actions, right? So thoughts, then your actions. Are you actually doing it? You do that enough times, it becomes a habit, right? Of like, you do this as a good habit you have of like realizing you're on Instagram and like you're scrolling. Okay, I don't do that anymore. Yep, don't. And then it becomes a lifestyle, and then it becomes who you are, right? I say lifestyle, but like, it becomes who you are. Like, you don't do this anymore. Right? It's like if someone tries to offer me something to smoke. Like, I've never smoked anything. I had a vape one time. I smoked my cousin's vape. Shout out Mitchell. But other than that, I've never smoked weed, never smoked a cigarette, never smoked a cigar, for that matter. So I'll try a cigar in the future, but it's like, not yet, And so overall, boys, the point of this video was to help you guys understand, kind of like a life update video. And we're still in Tulum, Mexico right now, which is amazing. And God is good, right? And this is also a video of giving you guys perspective on focusing, right? And your ability to focus will have a massive impact whether you are successful or not, because you will succeed very quick. You can get to where you want to go very fast, right? I'm telling you right now, it will happen quick. But if you cannot focus on what matters, right, the chances of you getting to where you need to go in the amount of time you want to get there, whether that's financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, is low, right? And it might never happen if you cannot focus on what you need to do. If you do not know what to do, you know exactly what you need to do, okay? I don't need to get into that. That's a video for another time. Most people, you watching this right now, if you are watching this, you made this far in the video, thank you, man. I really appreciate you, or girl, or woman, or female, whatever, whoever's watching this. There's only 2 genders, by the way. And yeah, Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.